So we've not got long, and again we're in a rush before Isle of Wight. Lex's job today is to take the old front bumper off because we have to tub the front end of this car.
Yep.
And it's not going to be an easy process. It is a lot of measuring, weird angles and frustration. And also today the bumper is going to get painted. There are some areas on the top that need a light sanding quickly. The shape we're happy with for now. We've also then got a couple of latches to put on the rear for this lid here. So even though we've just spent so long getting this really nicely painted, I'm super happy with the colour match, we now have to drill 2 big sections out of both sides. So there's a lot of things we need to do today, possibly raise the end of the car as well. Let's get into the madness. Let's take the front end apart.
Yeah. This will be like the 4th time I've done it. Yeah.
So we should come off easy. It should be fine.
Into work today and tonight.
And I'm here. Don't turn around.
Some of the paint is drying. We are now moving on to taking the crash bar off. So temperamentally, but actually surprisingly, one of these bolts came off, not without struggle. We're gonna now have to do the same on the other side. Bolts are off, so one down the bottom here at the top, and we should be able to just take this off. Oh my goodness. It's heavier than I thought it was, but at least it's off the car. Goodness gracious. There we go. Decently thick pipe, but we don't know our measurements yet. First of all, I'm going to make 2 rectangular brackets. So we're just going to get the press going and cut this piece smaller. Because this metal is really thick, it's going to be perfect for what we need it for. So I'm just going to cut it into a rough size that I'll need, and then cut down from that point using, again, this guillotine. Makes it so much easier than doing everything by hand. Let's measure it up roughly. I'm going to go over what I need because I can always just cut more off. Essentially, I'm just going to have to measure roughly out for the size of this bracket, because we're going to use this original mounting hole here, and then we're going to be drilling a second mounting hole. So instead of having it mount from the top end, we're going to have it come out the front on both sides. My Mishi radiator has seen better days, so I do need to separate some of those fins back out. I'm still happy with how it's looking, so just going to work out roughly how much I need, and I'll get some measuring going. I know normally I don't tend to go too through with measurements, but I need to make sure this is correct. Worries going on around here, but there's something. I've managed to make 2 identical brackets that are just going to sit slightly over the surface there. I'll conform them to shape later on. I'm just going to have to measure for drilling holes now, essentially. I love that that happens.
I've lost my way, and all I feel.
We have the hole borrowed. We're essentially just going to have to get one on the way we want it, just through there, and then we're going to have to line up and drill through. While we're just making bracketing, then afterwards we're going to be welding the pole and everything like that. I'm not too bothered that any of it sticks slightly out the sides, because it's just how it's going to be. It's always going to be that way, and also more safety. So I'm just going to use a center punch to center punch parts of the subframe here, and then we're going to go at it and drill through, then tap it, etc, etc. And then after we've done that, it's time to get the pole cut to the right sizes after the paint's dried for the first coat. and grinding was not precise enough. So the big boy machine's out now, and we're going to get some proper angles going on her.
Gotta get away, got to get away. Not just place away.
Doing measurements to make sure the pipes fit. We're at 128, so who's going to do this now? 128? It wasn't 128. What was the size again, James? 928, there you go. So we're now doing a 928 angle on one side and a 928 angle on the other side.
On a 45-degree angle, 928 tip to tip.
Yeah. Tip to tip. TIG 160 FPP from Artec, and essentially we're going to be tigging these two pieces coming off. I know people will say in the comments, TIG's not going to be strong enough, you're tubbing your car, you need to MIG it. We are going to use a mixture of MIG and TIG for the sections. However, for the look that we're going for at the front and for easier penetration on the welds, it's going to look so much better on TIG for the now. For now? For now. Needed, we should be able to sort the bolts out. So the old bumper and the new bumper is the first layer of clear coat on most of the sides except for the bottoms, and then we've got to go over another set of clear coat, but we've got to wait for it to dry. With how the front tubbed end is showing up, over here in the corner we've got a second coat of clear that's going to dry, and then tomorrow we'll be actually doing the mounting process. Doing the mounting process.
That's alright.
The rest of the bumper is just curing, so while that finishes off, we've got to do some work on the car, don't we?
Yep.
We've got to paint the bar that we've just put onto the front. Again, loving the welds, made it so easy using the Artec TIG. And then also in the arch as well, I have to bash a couple of the folds in the subframe back so that the tyre isn't hitting. So I've got a couple of things to do, nothing too crazy. I'm really tempted to just paint that on the car, you know.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't know. I'm just thinking about putting some cardboard behind the rad and just saying it. So we're gonna get these sprayed, and then essentially we've got to get the mounting of the bumper correct. So I have a couple of these to go on. These bands, as Lex has said to me multiple times now, are gonna end up as zip ties. And then also work on the rear catches as well, which look super sick. So we've got a lot to do and only 5 hours to do so. When making a track style project car, you have to be very out there sometimes. And bright green was one of the only random spray paints we had. So, you know, we keep the car's theme going with the green, eh? We're chilling. Some hexes making. So hopefully, in a bit, we'll have hexes inside as little meshes to protect the rad. And now it sits there for ages. First custom mesh is going in at the moment. The tabs and the CT are just sticking everything on nice and tight. Then we've got to work on the 2 side areas. There is a little gap you can see on this side, but that shouldn't be there when the car is level. You shouldn't be able to see that. And then after this is all done and we've got these meshes in, we can then start mounting on the car. But until then, we're at a standstill. So just over here, ignore the little grow light we've got going on. Essentially, the mesh is in, it's CT'd on, and we're just waiting for the stuff to dry essentially, and then we'll be able to start mounting on the car, where I think we're gonna have to put a couple of nutsets in, but we'll get to that in a moment. You can talk, I am just gonna overlay on this. It doesn't look horrible considering the condition it was when I first bought it. The nutserting and things didn't work to plan, so we've just gone a nut and bolt inside the fenders, and we haven't done any of the extra attachments yet. But I am pretty happy considering how quickly we've had to get this on. There's been a lot of bodgery to get it nicely, but we'll show some shots of that in a moment. The car's front looks insane compared to how I did before. I'm super happy with it. Scenic location to essentially show the final results with the number plate on. I know the car looks very dirty, but I am super happy with this bumper going on. So this is one part of Isle of Wight prep that we've managed to get done in time. Unfortunately, some of the other things with the boot latch pins, we have not been able to fit them on the car because of issues we've had with the bumper. Now there are some areas like the side here that will need time, and we will probably need to secure better, maybe CT1 glue in, but for now I am super happy with how everything's turned out.